Hey, and welcome to today's McMedia report for Friday, October 10th, 2025. My name's Eric. What I like to do here is find stories that don't get enough coverage, but really have an impact on you. They can range from things going on in media to ownership of different groups in the area to transactions that are happening. Really, anything that comes across my area and my radar that I think would be important for you to know about. Why do I even care? Well, I used to be involved in the news as a news director at a couple different news talk radio stations. And so I enjoy the coverage of the news, and I think it provides a very important public service. So I just want to make sure that that continues to go on. What are we going to talk about in today's McMedia report? Sports rights, and specifically the NFL. Why does this matter to you? Well, we'll get into it in just a little bit. So, few years ago, the NFL signed what were at that time 11-year deals with CBS, NBC, Fox, Disney, and Amazon, along with a couple others like YouTube for Sunday Ticket, for an immense amount of money. CBS, NBC, and Fox each pay right around $2 billion a year for their respective packages. Disney is around $2.6 billion a year, and Amazon is just short of what the other guys pay in order to broadcast those games. Here was the thing. The NFL had the right to opt out 7 years into the deals before the 11-year contract came to an end if they thought that they could get a better deal elsewhere. We are about 4 years into the 11-year deal. So we are about 3 years before that opt out could happen. And what all of the rumors are pointing to is that the NFL is working with the current partners to reopen those rights next year. Why is all of this happening? Well, a few reasons. Number one, if all of you remember earlier this year, NBC and Disney and Amazon agreed to pay staggering amounts of money for rights to the NBA. And it's going from 2 broadcast partners to 3 broadcast partners, and they're all paying an immense amount of money. Specifically, NBC doesn't even get the NBA finals, and they are paying $2.5 billion a year. So the NFL said, NBC gets Sunday Night Football, gets 2 postseason matchups, and gets the Super Bowl once every 4 years. They're paying us $2 billion a year, and now they come in for the NBA and they're paying 2.5. We obviously are getting underpaid. Disney still pays the NFL more than any other of its licensing partners, but it's kind of in line with what they're now going to be paying the NBA. So the NFL said, hey, you guys reset the rates for these broadcast packages. So they believe that they are now being underpaid. Another reason that it's happening now, and I'm not sure if you've seen all of the news about how year over year NFL ratings are growing, sports ratings are growing. Well, really what's happening is measurement has gotten a lot smarter and a lot more accurate. When Nielsen, which is the company that is accredited by the Media Rights Council to come up with ratings and to certify the number of eyeballs that are watching a certain program on TV, Nielsen was developed in like the 50s or 60s, back when TV was a brand new thing. And what they used to do was count households. And the reason was, back in the day, pretty much one household would have one TV, and so you got all of the eyeballs in that house. And so it was, how many households could you deliver to your programming for your advertisers? Nielsen has taken a long time to kind of evolve into just an eyeballs only kind of system. And about 2 years ago, what they started doing was adding in out of home viewing. So before 2 years ago, if you went and you watched an NFL game at a bar, you weren't counted as a viewer for the NFL game. What they did was, in about a third of the country 2 years ago, they added out of home viewing. And then at the end of the NFL season last year, they added out-of-home viewing for the remainder of the country. And then just before the NFL season kicked off this year, they added in big data. So what they're doing is they're taking information from streaming services. So like if you watch Thursday Night Football, they have proprietary streaming information. Peacock has proprietary streaming information for the number of people who are watching on Peacock versus NBC, YouTube TV, YouTube in general, Hulu plus live TV. All of these places have proprietary streaming information that they're now sharing with Nielsen, and Nielsen is now able to take that information, use their own panel data, and they're coming up with a much more accurate account of how many people are watching games. What it is doing is it's showing increasing numbers of eyeballs over past years watching the NFL and other sporting events, when in reality, past years have been undercounted and likely viewership is declining. Anyway, be that as it may, sports rights, and especially the biggest sports rights, are really desirable, and the NFL believes that it is not being paid enough. And on top of that, its ratings continue to grow because the measurement has gotten more accurate. And then the third reason that they want to come to market is because there are a couple other big name leagues that are coming to market with their rights in the next few years, specifically Major League Baseball. And the NFL believes that if they can get in front of those rights, they can take money out of the market and essentially punish the other sports who are coming in after it. Now, at the end of the day, you might be saying, yeah, okay, well, this just means that Disney is going to end up paying more to the NFL. Yeah. It also means that you're going to end up paying more to get Disney services. Disney Plus is going to go up. ESPN Unlimited is going to go up. If you get ESPN and ABC from a cable operator, those bills are going to go up. If you get it from a digital subscription service like a YouTube TV or Hulu with Live TV or DirecTV Stream or any one of those, or Fubo, your price is going to go up. So when you see these deals being cut, don't be thinking that, oh, this is just a big corporation paying 32 owners a lot of money. This is you spending more money to watch things like this. So I guess at the end of the day, it's something to pay attention to, but it might also be something that you want to raise your voices to. You might want to start reaching out to lawmakers and saying enough is enough. At some point, maybe there should be a ceiling on this stuff. Or maybe you put an antenna on top of your TV and you say, screw it, and you vote with your wallet. But at the end of the day, the NFL is going to take more money out because they want to get in front of the market when other big rights are about to come up. Their ratings are showing year over year huge increases, so their value is at their peak. And NBC really did a disservice by paying so much for the NBA that now the NFL is saying, where's our money? Because $2 billion a year isn't enough. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. We'll be continuing to follow this all throughout next year. And starting next week on the McMedia Report, I'm going to be trying to do one video a week, but in addition to talking about the news, I also like to do photography and stuff. So in the background is some drone footage that I have been shooting over where I live in New Orleans, or over areas of New Orleans. And what I will do is I will tell you the news while also showing you some of my aerial coverage. So that way it's kind of just like a mashing of different types of media for you to enjoy. Anyway, enjoy the weekend. Hope you found this informative. See you next time on the McMedia Report.